Before we begin, I want to dedicate this video to two special people in my life that I lost to diabetes, Paulinus Agbo and Ikechukwu Ugo. Their passing was a painful reminder of how silently and seriously chronic illnesses like diabetes, sugar problem, high blood pressure, kidney cancer, lung issue, and obesity can seriously affect our families, our loved ones, and snatch life away from us. It is painful to watch your loved ones struggle with a disease that is often associated to lifestyle and food choices. It can really be heartbreaking. I know there are still many people out there who are living with diabetes, high blood sugar, or other diet-related conditions. Some may not even realize how much their everyday food choices affect their health. This video is my small way of raising awareness about food. I am a food scientist and a health fitness coach. I've dedicated to this channel to create awareness around food, health, mental health, and relationship. I believe that your knowledge of food and your lifestyle can affect your health generally and well-being. So I want you to prepare. This conversation is going to be a bit long. I will talk about food and its importance. I will talk about some of the things that food can do to us, how it can nourish our body if we eat it rightly, and how it can be harmful to our body if we are not careful. Because the truth is, food can nourish and strengthen our bodies, but it can also become harmful when we don't understand it. Food can either be our medicine or our slowest poison, depending on how we use it. So before we talk about our diets, recipes, meals, we need to start the most important conversation. Like I said, this conversation is to create awareness around food. There will be subsequent topic on glycemic index, why the food we eat can impact our health, can lead to diabetes, can lead to high blood pressure, why our food can increase fat gain, and how we can curb fat losses. I want you to stay around on this channel. I'm going to give you practical examples of what has helped. I have a master's in food science and I have people I coach. Let's dive into it. What is food? That's the first thing that I want us to talk about. Food is any substance, anything at all that we consume that provides nutrients to our body and that helps it function properly. So I know when I define this, you'll be looking at it. Yes, even the water you drink helps your body to function. What is the role food play? Food is just like fuel, right, that we put in our car. When we take food, it produces energy and helps us to grow and develop well. So it also helps to protect us from diseases, and it helps to repair our cells, repair our tissues, our damaged tissue. That's why when you are ill, when you eat, you see the skin that is damaged drying off and the new one coming up again. Food helps us to regulate our body processes and to maintain our health generally. So food is very important in our overall health and well-being. Everything that we put into our mouths, every single thing that we bite has a purpose in our body. It sends information to our body. So, like I said before, some foods fuel our bodies with energy, and when our body receives food, it breaks down into digestion. First of all, it digests and absorbs those food nutrients into our system that will now give us energy. Some are broken down and they form glucose. Others goes down into our system and in form of amino acids, that is the protein and all that. So some foods fuels our body, others protects us from diseases like our vitamins, and some helps to build and repair our tissues like our protein. But when food choices are unbalanced or excessive, so when we keep eating and not just to give our body those necessary nutrients, those same foods can also contribute to some health problems. Like I've mentioned before, some of my loved ones died of diabetes. I know some people who have had diseases. Some are struggling with obesity. Type 2 diabetes is usually associated with lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, what you eat and all that. Some people are suffering obesity, and it is a big issue because they really don't know how to do it. And we have talked about high blood pressure. This is why it is important, if you understand what food is. Everybody takes food in this world. In this video, because if you don't take food, you will not survive. In this video, we are going to talk about the different classes of food, the functions they perform in our body, their common food sources, that is different sources of food, and how we can make better food choices that will protect our health. By the end of this video, you will understand how food can become one of the most powerful tools for protecting your health and preventing diseases. This is a full course on food and nutrition, and we will build on that. So, the first part on this topic that we are treating is, what are the classes of food? We need to understand the food classes, because this knowledge will help us to know whenever we are eating, we know what we are putting into our system. Food is made up of substances we call nutrients. I have said this before. when we eat food, our body absorbs it in form of nutrients. What is nutrients? Nutrients are chemical compounds or components in food that the body uses to carry out its many functions. So without these nutrients, the body simply cannot survive. Without the nutrients in food, without the fuel in a car, it cannot move. That is how without the nutrients in the food we eat, we cannot survive. Scientists and nutrition experts has classified food into 6 major groups, right? So, which are commonly known as 6 classes of food. We talk about the carbohydrates, the proteins, the fats and oils, the vitamins, the minerals, the water. Each of these nutrients plays a unique and essential role in maintaining our health. Some nutrients gives us energy, right? While some helps to build and rebuild and repair our body tissue, like I've mentioned in the early introduction. Others helps to regulate important body processes such as digestion, blood circulation, and immune function. So this group of classes has another subgroups. So we have the macronutrients. These are nutrients that our body needs in larger amounts. They include carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and we also have, these are the major ones, the macronutrients, carbohydrate, protein, and fat. These nutrients mainly provide energy and structural support for our body. We have the micronutrients. It means that our body requires it in a minimal level or smaller amount, but they are still extremely very important. These include the vitamins, the minerals, and the water. Even though we need these micronutrients in smaller quantities, without micronutrients, our body cannot function properly. A simple way to think about this is like carbohydrates are the fuel that powers the car, right? And our proteins are like the mechanics that repair the engine. Then fat acts like the stored energy for protection. So when we eat food, sometimes even the carbohydrate itself, which is our fuel, is stored as fat and helps to release that energy when it is needed. So sometimes some people will say, I ate carbohydrate, I did not put any oil in my food, forgetting that when you eat, your body stores the food in form of glycogen. So meanwhile, you can look at vitamins and minerals like tiny components that keep the engine running smoothly, and water is the cooling system that prevents engine from overheating. I hope you understand this analogy. Sometimes water can be classed as macronutrients because actually our body needs water to function. But look at the water as the cooling system that stops the engine from overheating, because water regulates our body temperature. It helps to filter our kidney, helps to keep us hydrated. There are a whole lot of things that water does, and without water we can't really do much. So the next is we are going to go into details with the food classes, the food sources. Number one is carbohydrates. Our carbohydrates are the body's main energy source. Whenever we eat foods that contains carbohydrates, our body breaks them down into simple sugar called glucose. So when glucose then enters our bloodstream, it is now transported to the cells where it is used to produce energy. This energy powers everything that our body does, including breathing, thinking, walking, digestion, heart function, and physical activities. So whatever thing you are doing, you use energy. Even when you are asleep, even as your heart is beating, your body needs energy, your brain needs energy. So without carbohydrates, the body would struggle to perform these basic activities. And there are three main types of carbohydrates. We have the simple type of carbohydrate, and they are the sugars that are quickly digested by our body. They provide rapid energy. So when you take food that is high in sugar, what happens? You have too much energy. But they can also cause quick spikes in our blood sugar. So examples of this include sugar, sweets, our cakes, the fruits from the sugar from even some of our sweet fruits, like all the berries, grapes and all that. They can cause high spikes in our blood sugar. The second kind of carbohydrates are the complex carbohydrates. They take a bit longer to digest, and they can release energy slowly, which helps to keep our blood sugar levels more stable. Examples of this include the rice, our yam. Rice spikes our sugar level, but it's not as comparable to that of the sugar that has already been processed. We have our potato, our sweet potatoes, our maize, our oats, our bread, pasta, cassava. So plantain and all that. But what you will understand is that even with this rice, there are other food in line that releases sugar slowly than that. So if you have something like diabetes, you may not be eating rice or may not eat it in large quantity, and you may eat something like more plantain, sweet potato, your oats, your cassava, yam, rice, and your ordinary potato and maize. But you have to be very careful. If you have diabetes, you have to be careful, because if you are eating rice, you need to eat a small portion of rice, because rice has high glycemic index. So when you eat it, it shoots your blood sugar very, very fast, which means it causes spike in your blood sugar, and that is what we don't want, because when you have diabetes, means like that your insulin is no longer functioning well to regulate your blood as it's supposed to. Remember, I don't know if I have explained what causes diabetes. this section is just about nutrition. My next video will be on glycemic index, causes of diabetes and all that. But for now, I just want you to know that when insulin is a hormone that regulates your blood sugar, so when you eat any food you eat, especially the one that contains carbohydrate or glucose, insulin helps it to be normal, so it releases the actual amount of glucose that your body needs little by little. But when your insulin is no longer functioning well, when you eat everything, is either it causes spike and the entire your sugar goes high to the level that you cannot control anymore on its own. This is common with type 2 diabetes, and type 2 diabetes is usually, like I've explained before, associated with sedentary lifestyle. So and other factors. Some people have hereditary factors anyway. But what I'm saying is that when your insulin is no longer functioning well, it can be as a result of insulin resistance, because sometimes our lifestyle, what we eat, can make our insulin not to be sensitive anymore. So when you have poor when you have diabetes, your insulin is no longer sensitive. It is at this point it can lead to other problem. So you need to eat food that doesn't release sugar quickly to your system. Of course, at this point you should know that you should avoid any sugary thing like added sugar, the one that is already processed, the white sugar or granulated sugar, or avoid drinking soda, that's your soft drink that contains sugar. It's, fluid is easily absorbed into the system, right? So when you drink water or liquid, anything that contains sugar, it goes around your system quickly. That's why when you take Sprite, for people who has low sugar or who are having lacking glucose at a particular time, when you give them sugar, their brain comes up. That's why people are giving glucose when they are exhausted or dehydrated, or when they are exhausted during sports, because it's the moment it goes into your system, it goes and lifts your blood sugar high. So that's how it happens. And if your insulin is not longer working well, when you eat rice, you have that spike. You eat cassava, you have that spike. You eat maize, you have that spike. You eat potato, you have that yam. So, but there are some food that is known to have less effects, right? So when you just eat it, what happens? When you just eat it, it slowly goes. So if you eat something that is like legumes and your beans and all that, it doesn't cause that spike. So there are other carb sources that can cause spike that are not okay. I'm not telling you to stop eating carb. No, that's not it. Even if you have diabetes, you can still eat your favorite food, but the quantity and how you portion your food is very important. So if you have like 3 or 4 spoons of rice to serve that meal of rice, and you have your vegetable, it can be your broccoli, your ugu, your amaranth leaf, it can be your lentils, combined lentils, it can be your pumpkin leaf, your water leaf, or any vegetable, sack, kale, and many other kale, spinach, and all that, those important vegetables, your cabbage as well, your cucumber, any of this, if you add them together, add your legume, add your eggs, imagine adding 4 eggs into one plate, you have full plate. You still eat your rice, but this time around, what's the difference? The difference is that you are eating more fiber that will help change the structure of your carbohydrate, so it doesn't release it quickly as it could have done, because the portion is minimal, and then the fiber that you are combining it with is changing its functionality, right? So yeah, that's it about carb. Also, as it is to people who have diabetes, I'm also talking to people who want to lose weight. So if you want to lose weight and you're always eating bread, pasta, cassava, oats, maize, your fufu, your rice, your yam, your all your fried products, right? All your wheat products, right? You are eating all these things. I won't tell you not to eat it, but you have to be careful. For weight loss to happen, you must try as much as possible to reduce your intake of your calorie intake, which means that you will eat nutrient-dense food that are high or rich in protein, food that are rich in fiber or vegetables, and that contains all the essential nutrients that your body needs, like your mineral, your vitamin C and all that. So with this, when you have this, I'm saying is what your balanced diet now. So you need to eat this food, because when you eat it, you now be able to lose weight. Okay, but if you are just eating only carb, you drink your Coke, your Pepsi all the time, you are taking your sugary drink, your juice, even eating fruits. Sometimes some people will tell you, I'm not taking Coke, I'm not taking sweet stuff, but I'm just taking fruit. You crush your fruits. Fruits can also trigger fat storage, glucose, because when you crush them, when you process them, it releases more sugar itself. So, and your body, instead of chewing it, you are drinking it. So it still does almost the same thing that processed drink does, that that your soft drink does. So I would advise, if you want to drink water. Water is good. Or if you insist to drink something that you feel like it's healthy, why not do your vegetable smoothie? With that, you eat your stuff gradually. Another part that we are going to talk about now is protein. I've already touched on protein, and okay, before I touch on protein, we are going to talk about the third part of carbohydrate, which is the dietary fiber. Fiber is a special type of carbohydrate, right, that our body cannot digest. Even though it is not digested, like I said before, fiber is extremely very important because it supports our digestion and our digestive system. It helps to regulate our blood sugar levels, like I said. So when you eat food that is high in fiber, like I told you, that if you combine vegetables with rice, that it changes the structure or the behavior in the body. Instead of it spiking the blood sugar, now what happens, it slowly releases it just the way it would have happened or functioned, right? But if you eat only carbohydrate, if you eat only the heavy carbs or compound carbs, or the carbohydrates like the rice and all that, what happens? It's send that spike. Remember, these things are all connected to too much of this can lead to a lot of weight gain, insulin insensitivity, and cholesterol, high cholesterol, and many things. So but when you eat fiber helps to regulate our blood sugar and helps us to add bulk to our digestive system, so you can easily poo. So where do we get dietary fiber from? Like I mentioned, you can find it from the beans we eat, our fruits, our vegetables, our whole grains. Well, which ones? Our beans, they like the lentils as well, the bambara groundnuts, we call it okpa, and black eye beans, the black beans, the brown beans, the pigeon peas, kidney beans. There are a whole lot of varieties of these beans, and soybean. They are all nutritious and wonderful. A diet rich in fiber can help reduce the risk of diabetes. Like I've said before, they can help to reduce the risk of diabetes, heart diseases, and digestive problems. So the next important one we are going to look at now is the protein. Protein is very important. I don't joke with it. So whenever people come to my class, so we will mention, oh, protein is very expensive, but it is not. So if you are eating protein, to see the function of protein, how protein helps us, actually we should be buying protein. And where can we find protein? You can find protein in many places, right? You can find protein in many places. Just like our carbohydrate is abundant, you can still find protein in our plants. Some of them are limiting, so our cereal have protein and our legumes have protein. So but the cereal and the legume, they are limiting in some amino acids like tryptophan and lysine or methionine. So but when you combine them together, what happens? You have a complete protein. But when we talk about protein superiority, we are looking at our animal protein, and what gives us that balance, that best animal protein that is affordable for wherever you are in the world. You can find it anywhere. You cannot say, this one is not in my area. Egg of what? Egg of anything. Egg is quite cheap, it's abundant, and it is whole. It contains protein. So let's look at egg. We need egg. So let me quickly define protein. Proteins are often referred to as the building blocks of the body, and they are responsible for building and repairing tissues. Proteins are made up of smaller units called amino acids, and these amino acids are essential for many body functions. Protein plays several important roles in the body. So what are the roles of protein? They are very important. Protein is like a healing machine. You understand? So protein helps to build our muscles. It helps to repair damaged tissues, produce hormones and enzymes, and supports the immune system. It helps to maintain our skin. So to have healthy skin, protein. To have healthy hair, protein. To have healthy nails, protein. I'm a testament to this because I ate a lot of eggs during my pregnancy, and what happened? I had a baby that has a lot of hair, and even me, my hair was blossoming up to this very moment. So protein is healing. Protein helps to repair our damaged tissue, and it helps to produce our hormones and enzymes. Protein can be obtained from both animal and plant sources, like I mentioned before. And the animal sources of protein, they include fish, chicken. You can say these ones are expensive, but there is always different ranks, different levels which you can afford. Like if the big fishes are expensive, what about your crayfish? So if you can't buy salmon, you can't buy Titus, you can't buy all the whales and the sharks, start with crayfish. You can buy crayfish. You can buy the chizoba, the one that has bones. You can buy, just try different ones that you can afford. So we also have what we call the chicken. The chicken is available depending on any part of the world you are. Where I am in the UK, the chicken is quite common here. People don't want to take chicken because it's everywhere. Eggs. No, you have no reason why you shouldn't be eating eggs. Just go, the money that you used to buy your bread or buy soft drink that you waste. If you are buying soft drink 500 naira or 1,000 naira, or you are buying soft drink £1, or you are buying it, use that money and buy a crate of eggs. What happens? You will have a healthier portion of food in the healthier food that when you prepare, your body will thank you for doing that. So yes, you have your milk. Milk is protein. You have your yogurt, you have your beef. So yogurt also falls into milk right now, right? So beef also is very important. Your pork, all your lamb, your goat meat, many things are under this place, right? So there are a huge variety of animal products. So we don't always go and be buying the processed one. They tell you protein shake. They may be okay, but what I'm saying is buy your protein dense food, nutrient dense. Cook it yourself so you know what is inside, right? So plant sources of protein include your beans, lentils, peas, soybean, nuts, and like your walnuts, your cashew nuts, your granules, and all that. They contain protein. So animal proteins are considered complete protein because they contain all the essential amino acids that the body needs. So I've said this before, the protein quality is measured based on the composition of amino acid it has, right, and the structure. So we have essential and non-essential amino acids, and the amino acids is about 20. So the essential amino acids are the ones that our body cannot produce, so we need it. The unessential one is our body can produce it. So, but plant protein, they may lack one or more amino acids, but when you combine them, like I said, when you combine cereals and legume, they give you, so cereals and legume, you cook rice and beans, they will merge up to give you complete amino acids. So the next class of food that we are going to talk about is what? Fats and oil. Fats and oil belongs to the macronutrients that we have been talking about. And fats and oil are another important source of energy for the body. In fact, fat provides more than twice the energy that carbohydrates or protein provides. It serves several important functions, like it helps in energy storage. So when you eat food, it stores as fat in the liver. It protects what? And when it stores, when it can be released as ketones when our body needs it. So when it stores, it protects what? Our vital organs, insulates our body, absorbs fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A, D, E, and K. It supports brain function and hormone productions. There are three main types of fats. The first is saturated fats, which are commonly found in animal products such as butter, fatty meat, and dairy products. The second type is the unsaturated fat, which is generally considered healthier. They include our olive oil, the avocado, the nuts, seeds, fish, African pear, the tiny corn pear that we roast, and all those nuts like the almond, walnuts, coconuts as well. Yeah, the third type is what? The trans fats, which is often found in processed foods and fried foods. So trans fats should be limited because they increase the risk of heart diseases. So all the polished oil that we use to fry things like the refined oil, the one we call groundnut oil, or the vegetable oils that are processed, the castor oil, the sunflower that have been bleached, can be very dangerous to our health, because refining oil or polishing oil or hydrogenation of oil is done to help maintain the stability or prolong the shelf life of most oil. However, this process increases trans fats, which is mostly not good to our health. They are usually associated with heart diseases. So I'm going to break down different types of fat in terms of good versus bad fat. Good fats, like I've said before, are fats that are found in olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds, fatty fish like your salmon and the rest, and salmon, tuna, and the rest. Then This type of fats, they help to increase our high density lipoprotein, that is our HDL. This is considered to be a good cholesterol, and this removes excess cholesterol from our arteries. This kind of fats can reduce risk of heart diseases. But we also have what we call bad fats, and these bad fats are saturated fats which are found in palm oil, butter, fatty meat, and they can raise LDL, bad cholesterol. So there's another one that is called the trans fats. These are mostly in partially hydrogenated processed oils, such as fried foods, baked snacks like your meat pie, your plantain chips, your plantain, your egg, and your deep fried meats. These raise our low density lipoprotein and lower our high density lipoprotein. Remember, our LDL is the bad cholesterol, and the bad cholesterol that our body doesn't like, and our HDL is the good fat that our body likes. And the worst combination of these can result to unhealthy heart health. So it can cause heart diseases or diseases associated with that. So our low density lipoprotein, which is the bad cholesterol, what does it do? It carries cholesterol to our arteries, and the high levels, when it is high, it can deposit in our blood vessels, like as though it's creating a plaque there. This leads to what we call, when it happens, it's blocking our arteries, blocking our blood flow, and this leads to a condition called atherosclerosis. I don't want to chew my tongue. Yeah, which is the major causes of what? Heart diseases, stroke, and other associated disease that has to do with bad cholesterol. Our HDL, our good cholesterol, which is also called high density lipoprotein, picks up excess cholesterol from our arteries and carries it to our liver for what? Disposal. So it helps to filter off bad cholesterol away from our body. So you can see what the liver does here. All the bad cholesterol is collected to the liver, and the liver helps for our waste disposal. So, but our high HDL, right? Our high HDL helps us very well, because as it is disposing the bad cholesterol, as it picks up all the things that are not good from our arteries, what happens? It's cleaning us up, which means it protects our hearts against diseases, protects us from stroke. So the best balance for this is what? Eat food that will encourage higher density lipoprotein HDL and reduce low LDL, that is low density lipoproteins. And what are the high density lipoprotein? Where can you get it? You can get it from your avocado, your almond nuts, your fish, like I've mentioned, and the rest of it. So I'm going to this why processed oil cause diseases. Trans fats in processed oils are usually artificially created during hydrogenation. They raises our bad cholesterol and reduces our high density lipoprotein, that is our good cholesterol. More cholesterol stock in our arteries when we take these trans fats, like I've explained, and it means that it leads to less removal of bad cholesterol, which exposes us to higher risk of heart attacks and stroke. I want you to check what we have, what your cholesterol level, to know if your LDL is high or your HDL is high. Oxidized fat. When we heat oils at high temperature, what happens? Like when we are frying or deep frying, there is what chemical changes, and these changes affect the chemical structure of the oil, which means that it leads to oxidized fat that can damage our blood vessels and increase inflammation. So that's why it is good to, if you are using oil, just add it directly to your food. Frying it can increase the flavor or make it sensory appealing, but what happens? It is not good for our health. Excess omega-6 without omega-3. So when we take all this trans or processed food or hydrogenated food, you see that they are usually higher in omega-6, and too much omega-6 without omega-3 can lead to chronic inflammation, and it usually contributes to our heart disease, diabetes, and obesity. So yeah, it can also lead to, all these things are associated, and when you have all this obesity and all that, and diabetes, other organs of your body like your liver, your kidney, and even your skin can suffer. That some people start developing wounds and other health challenges. Now, in the next sections, we'll be talking about the micronutrients. Here we have our vitamins, the minerals, and our water. We are going to discuss some of the benefits, what they are, and how lack of them can cause some health diseases. So we are going to start with our vitamins. Our vitamins are organic compounds that help regulate many processes in our body. And although this body needs vitamin in a very small amount, they are very, very important or essential for maintaining good health. Vitamins are usually needed in our body in a very minute quantity. That's why they call it micronutrients. So vitamins can be divided into two groups. We have the fat-soluble vitamins, which includes our vitamin A, our vitamin D, our vitamin E, and our vitamin K. These vitamins are usually stored in our body's fat tissue. They are stored in our fat tissues, while the other ones are water-soluble, like our vitamin C, our B complex vitamins. And it means that these ones are very delicate because they can easily leach out into when you are processing food that contains these vitamins, like our green vegetables, our pumpkin leaf or fruited pumpkin leaf. They can easily leach into water, or when you are blanching them, they can, cooking in the hot water can lead to loss of them. So they can easily leach out, they can easily be affected by heat. And these vitamins are not stored in our body. So because remember what I told us about the proteins, the amino acids, the essential and non-essential amino acids. So because of this one, they are very important. We must consume them regularly through our diets. Vitamins, they play many important roles in our body. For example, our vitamin A supports our vision and immune health. Our vitamin D helps us to maintain strong bones. Our vitamin C supports wound healing and immune function. Our vitamin B's, they help convert food into energy. And what are the best sources of these vitamins? They include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, dairy products, meat, and fish. So if we want your vitamins, that's why people take a lot of green vegetables, because they contain this vitamin in large amounts. The dairy products are there, our meats like our chicken, our egg, our fish contain some of these vitamins in good quantity. Next, we will talk about the role these vitamins play to our health and how lack of them or its deficiency can lead to health challenges. First in my list, we'll talk about vitamin A, which is also known as the retinol. The role it plays, our vitamin A is also known as our vision vitamin because it helps with our vision, it helps to improve our immune system, helps with our skin, and also cell growth. So when we have deficiency problem with this vitamin, what happens? It can result to what we call night blindness, dry and rough skin. It can also cause weak immunity, so your immune system, the immune system might struggle and find it difficult to function well. This leads to diseases. Again, it's just like a circle or a cycle. So we have the next one we have here is our B complex vitamins. They are very important, and these include our thiamine, our B1, our riboflavin, our B2, our niacins, our B3, our B6, our B12, which are our folate, biotin, pantothenic acid. When we have problem with this or deficiency with this, what happens? Our B1 vitamins can lead to what we call beriberi, which is nerve and heart problems. So when we have lack in our B2, it leads to what we call cracks at the corner of our mouth. We have, sore throats, all those things that show up when we have fever. Yes, it will start showing up. Lack of vitamin B3 leads to a condition called the pellagra. So we have our dermatitis here, our diarrhea, our dementia in this. So vitamin B3 is very important, or we can have loss of memory. So lack of vitamin B6 can result to nerve damage, cause irritability, and even depression. So if you are very unsettled or feeling low moods all the time, it can be as a result of what? That you lack. It can be your body telling you that you are lacking some nutrients, and that is your B vitamin B6. Last on our B vitamins is our vitamin B12 and our folate. So when you lack your vitamin B12, it can lead to megaloblastic anemia. It can lead to megaloblastic anemia or cause fatigue, nerve damages. So the next vitamins that we need to look at the role they play. Our vitamin C play important role. That is our ascorbic acid. They play the role of antioxidant, collagen production, immune support. Collagen is very important in our muscle development, right? for our muscle development. So deficiency or problems associated with lack of vitamin C is you have what we call scurvy. So you see people bleeding, having bleeding gums, they have bruises, easily to get bruising, or when they have bruises it doesn't go away quickly because they just continue bleeding, and you have it leads to slow wound healing as well, because this vitamin C is very important for our immune health or our immune system. So when you don't have enough vitamin C, it can lead to weak immunity. So it is very, very important. Remember where you can get your vitamins. It's still in plant-based products, dairy products, fish and meat, and your fruits. Vitamin D plays important role in our body. They help with calcium absorption, helps with our bone health, our immune function, and the rest. So most of these vitamins are still very important for our immune health. So when you don't have enough vitamin D, or deficiency problems of vitamin D can lead to what? Rickets in children. So this is what we call weak or deformed bones. When you see children developing their bones, their leg expanding, K-leg or bow leg, it's a result of poor vitamins, vitamin D, and sometimes it's just the body doesn't have the bone firm enough to withstand the pressure that the body is putting on it. So we have osteoporosis in adults, or osteomalacia, which are bone pains, bone fractures, low bone densities. So also lack of vitamin D can also lead to what? Muscle weakness, increased risk of infections. So you need vitamin D for your calcium absorption, which is also very good for your bone health and your immune function, also for your muscle to develop well and to be well, and also for the children's bone to develop well. Lack of this leads to different muscle deformation, different bone fractures, increased risk infections of muscles, and other problems in children. Our next is our vitamin E. So our vitamin E play important role in antioxidants. It protects our cells from damages. Our vitamin E is when we lack it, it can lead to many problems like nerve and muscle damages. Which means that people who have weaknesses, tiredness, poor coordination, they are not stable when they are walking, can lead to increased falls and fatigue. So it can also lead to vision problems. So, and lack of it can lead to immune system impairments. So you take your vitamin E because they are very important for your health. Next in our list is our vitamin K. The role it plays is for blood clotting, bone health. So lack of it or deficiency of vitamin K can do what? Lead to what we call it can, just like the vitamin E, can lead to easy bruising and bleeding. It can also lead to poor bone health and fractures. So what do I want you to take away from this vitamin section? Each vitamins, they are very important and they play specific function. So lacking them can cause targeted health problems, and many deficiencies can lead to what? Weak immunity, fatigue, poor growth, nerve damage, and bone problems or malfunctions. When you eat balanced diets or supplementation, some of these issues can be prevented. What are your vitamin sources? Remember to replay the beginning. It helps from vegetables, milk, dairy, meat, and egg. In our next section, we will talk about a very micronutrient, the minerals. The minerals are very important because even though they are needed in our body, very little quantity, just like the vitamins, it is very important. Sometimes most people never think about minerals as something is important because it's not something we often talk about, right? But here is the truth: you can eat every day, be full, and even gain weight and be happy or feel like you are getting nourished, but still you are dangerously undernourished. Why? This is not because you lack food, but because you lack minerals. These are the silent nutrients working behind the scenes in your body every second and every single day. You don't see them, you don't feel them directly, but without them, nothing in your body works the way it should. Your heart doesn't beat properly. Your muscles don't move the way they should. Your brain slows down. Your immune system weakens. And the scary part is, mineral deficiency doesn't always show up immediately. It builds slowly, quietly, until one day your body starts breaking down. So what exactly are minerals? I want us to start with the definition of mineral. Minerals are natural elements that are found in earth, but with regard to nutrients or nutrition, they can be scattered everywhere, including in the food we eat and the water we drink. And your body depends on them for survival. Unlike carbohydrates, protein, or fats, your body does not need them in large quantity. Remember, our macronutrients are our carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. And because minerals are micronutrients, our body just need them in small quantity. But even though they are needed in small quantities, their impact is massive. Your body cannot produce minerals on its own, just like the essential amino acid and the essential vitamins. Your body cannot produce minerals on its own. That means every single mineral your body uses must come from your diet, every one of them. So it is very important, very, very essential. If your food lacks these nutrients, your body has no backup plan. Do you understand? So now imagine building a house, right? You have your cement, sand, bricks, but if you don't have small nails and metal supports, that building will not stand strong. This is exactly what minerals are in your body. They are the tiny components holding everything together. Let's start with one of the most important nutrients or minerals that our body needs or human needs: the calcium. Calcium is often associated with bones and teeth, and that is true, but the role it plays goes beyond that, because inside our body, calcium is constantly working to help our muscles to do what? Contract and relax. So every time our heart beats, calcium is what? Involved. Every time we move our hand or blink our eyes, calcium is what? At work. When your body does not get enough calcium, what happens? It begins to withdraw it from your bones. Over time, this makes your bones weak, fragile, and more likely to do what? Break. This condition can progress into what is known as osteoporosis. Like I mentioned before, lack of vitamin D, where bones become so weak that even a minor fall can cause a fracture. Calcium is commonly found in what? Milk, cheese, yogurt, leafy green vegetables, and some fish like sardines that are eaten with their bones. But if these foods are missing from your diet, your body pays the price. Closely connected to calcium is another powerful mineral called the magnesium. Magnesium works quietly, but it is involved in hundreds of body processes. It helps our muscles relax. It helps our muscles relax after contraction. It also supports our nerves, helps regulate our blood sugar, and plays a key role in keeping our heart rhythm stable. Without enough magnesium, our body begins to do what? To show warning signs. So you may experience something like muscle cramps, twitching, fatigue, or even irregular heartbeats. Some people feel anxious without knowing that a lack of magnesium could be the contributing factor or could be the reason behind their anxiousness. Magnesium is abundant in foods like nuts, seeds, beans, whole grains, and dark leafy vegetables. So dark leafy vegetables keep coming up over and over again when we talk about our minerals and our vitamins, because this is where you find them, and also our fruits as well. But in today's world, where many people rely on refined and processed foods, magnesium intake has dropped significantly. Another mineral that plays a major role in our body is potassium. Potassium is essential for maintaining the balance of fluids in your body. It works hand in hand with sodium to regulate how much water enters and leaves our cells. It also supports proper nerve signals and keeps our heart functioning normally. When potassium is lacking, or when our potassium levels are low, our muscle become weak and we may feel very tired, and our heart's rhythm can become irregular. In severe cases, it can lead to dangerous complications. Potassium is naturally present in fruits and vegetables like bananas, potatoes, beans, and leafy greens. But when diets are dominated by processed foods, potassium intake will now drop significantly. Processed food. Why sodium intake increases, it creates a dangerous imbalance. The next, we'll talk about sodium. Sodium is a very important mineral that are often misunderstood. Sodium is not the enemy. Our body actually needs sodium to do what? To survive, because it helps maintain our fluid balance, support nerve function, and allow us muscle to contract. But the problem comes when sodium is consumed in excess. Too much sodium intake from processed foods can lead to high blood pressure, and over time this increases the risk of heart diseases and stroke. On the other hand, too little sodium, although rare, can cause symptoms like confusion, headaches, and weakness. The key is what? Balance. So make sure your food intake of sodium is okay. Don't overeat it, don't overdo it. Our next is the phosphorus. Phosphorus works closely with calcium to build what? Strong bones and teeth, but it also plays a critical role in energy production. Every cell in your body uses energy molecules which depend on phosphorus. Every cell, just like our calcium. And without it, our body cannot function efficiently. Phosphorus is found in foods like meat, fish, dairy, nuts, and legumes. And a deficiency is not very common, but when it occurs, it can lead to weak bones, fatigue, and poor growth. Now, we move to one of the most talked about minerals, especially in women and children. So, this is the iron. This very one is very important, especially for pregnant women. Whenever I'm pregnant, I am prone to have low iron level. So I usually need more iron tablets to boost my iron level. When your body lacks iron, it cannot produce enough healthy red blood cells. That's one thing about iron. So iron is equals to blood. So when your body does not produce healthy red blood cells, this leads to a condition known as what? Anemia. So you will not have enough blood. People with anemia often feel extremely tired, weak, and short of breath. Their skin may appear pale, and even simple tasks can feel exhausting. Iron can be found in foods like red meat, liver, beans, and leafy green vegetables. However, not all iron is absorbed equally, and certain diets can increase the risk of deficiency. Another important mineral that often goes unnoticed is what? The zinc. Zinc plays a crucial role in your immune system because it helps your body fight infection, heal wounds, and support growth and development. It is also important for reproductive health. And when zinc levels are low, your body does what? Struggles to defend itself. You may find out that wounds take longer to heal, infection becomes more frequent, you have hair loss, and many other things. Zinc is present in foods like meat, shellfish, seeds, and nuts. The next mineral we'll talk about is the one that directly affects your metabolism. This is iodine. Iodine is needed for the production of thyroid hormones, which control how your body uses energy. When iodine is lacking, the thyroid gland enlarges in an attempt to do what? Capture more iodine from the bloodstream. This leads to a condition known as what? Goiter, which appears as a swelling in the neck. In children, iodine deficiency can lead to serious developmental issues, including impaired brain function. Iodine is commonly found in iodized salt and seafood. In many regions, the introduction of iodized salt has significantly reduced iodine deficiency, but it can still occur when people avoid iodized products. Selenium is another mineral that works quietly but powerfully in our body. It also acts as an antioxidant, protecting our cells from damage. It also supports thyroid function and helps strengthen our immune system. A lack of selenium can weaken your body's defenses and contribute to thyroid problems. Selenium is found in foods like fish, eggs, and certain nuts. The last we will talk about is what? Our copper. This mineral that supports iron metabolism and helps in the formation of red blood cells. Remember, we said our iron helps in the production of red blood cells, so lack of it can lead to a condition called anemia, and this can lead to irritability, to lack of strength, shortness of breath, and a lot of things. So without enough copper, your body struggles to do what? To use iron effectively, which can lead to anemia and weakened immune system. When you look at all these minerals together, one thing becomes very clear. Your body is not just powered by food quantity, it is powered by food quality. You can eat large portions every day, but if your meals lack the essential minerals, your body does what? Slowly begins to do what? Suffer. This is the hidden hunger that many people experience without even realizing. And modern diets have made it even worse problem, because highly processed foods often lack essential minerals. Fruits and vegetables are usually consumed less frequently, and even the soil where food is grown is no longer rich in nutrients as it used to be. All of this contributes to a growing problem of mineral deficiency across the world. The solution is not complicated, but it requires awareness. Your meals need to include a variety of whole foods, vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, fish, and properly sourced animal products, all that contribute to providing your body the minerals it requires, or the minerals it needs. Because at the end of the day, your health is not just about eating to feel full. It is about eating to truly nourish your body. Minerals may be small, invisible, and often ignored, but they are the difference between a body that simply survives and a body that truly thrives. So, the next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself one question: am I just eating, or am I nourishing my body? The next class of food that we are going to talk about, the final class, is very, very important. Very important because of the role it plays with diabetes and weight loss. And as a health fitness coach, I will always emphasize on the importance of these very nutrients. We are going to talk about the almighty water. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. The most important nutrient your body needs is not just protein, it is not vitamins alone, it is not just carbohydrate or even mineral. The very, very important nutrient that your body needs is water, and yet it is very most ignored. Water is very much abundant everywhere and available, right? But people ignore it. People spend so much time worrying about what to eat, counting calories, cutting carbs, increasing protein, but they forget the most important. And this one thing our body cannot survive without for more than a few days: water. This is where it is getting interesting. Water is often grouped with micronutrients, right? Because that's why it's coming up at the end. This is very controversial. But technically, is it really a micronutrient? I don't think it fits perfectly into that category. Because why? Other micronutrients like the vitamins and the minerals are needed in small quantity, but because our body needs water in large quantity, much larger than our vitamins and our minerals, it becomes controversial. How can something required in such large quantity be considered alongside micronutrients? The answer is simple, right? Water does not provide energy, just like our carbohydrates. We remember carbohydrates, protein, and fats are our macronutrients. So it doesn't provide energy like our carbohydrates, protein, and fats. It does not give us calories. But without it, none of all these nutrients can function properly, because water is like a mixer in our body. It helps to transport things and nutrients into our system. So in other words, water is not just a nutrient, it is a medium of life itself. Very, very important. Every single cell in our body depends on water. In fact, our body is made up of about 60% of water, and our blood is mostly water, our brain is largely water, and even our bones contain water. And every second this water is being used to perform our body functions. Water plays a central role in maintaining our body temperature And when our body heats up, especially in hot environments or during physical activity, you do what? You sweat. That sweat evaporates from your skin, cooling your body down without enough water. This cooling system does what? Fails if there's no enough water, and your body can do what? Overheat. Imagine your vehicle overheating, because it just plays similar role. Water is also responsible for what? For transporting nutrients throughout our body. And when we eat food, nutrients are broken down and absorbed into what? Our bloodstream. But it is water that carries those nutrients to every cell that needs them. Without water, those nutrients cannot do what? Reach their destination. Like doesn't reach their destination. So water is a transporter. At this same time, water helps us to remove waste products from our body. Water removes waste products from our body through our urine, sweat, and even breathing. Our body gets rid of toxins and metabolic waste. So if your water intake is low, these waste products begin to do what? Accumulate, placing stress on your kidneys and other organs. Your digestion also does what? Depends heavily on water. It helps break down food, supports the absorptions of nutrients, and prevents constipation. And the lack of water can slow down digestion and lead to what? Discomfort, bloating, and poor nutrient absorption. Even your joints rely on what? Water. The fluid that lubricates your joints contain water, allowing smooth movement. Without adequate hydration, joints can become stiff and painful over time. And then there is your brain. Your brain is extremely sensitive to dehydration. Even a small drop in your body's water level can affect your mood, memory, and concentration. You may feel tired, confused, or irritable without realizing that the root cause is simply a lack of water. Now let's talk about what happens when your body does not get enough water. Dehydration does not always start with extreme thirst. In fact, by the time you feel very thirsty, your body is already dehydrated. Early signs can include what? Fatigue, dry mouth, headaches, and reduced concentration. As dehydration progresses, what happens? Symptoms become more serious. Your heart rate may increase, your blood pressure may drop, and your body may struggle to regulate temperature. And in severe cases, dehydration can become life-threatening. But on the other hand, too much of everything is bad. So if you drink too much water, which is less common, right, it can also be very dangerous. When excessive water is consumed in a short period, it can dilute sodium levels in your blood, leading to a condition known as water intoxication. This can disrupt brain function and in extreme cases lead towards serious complications. So once again, the balance is often the key. Make sure you are drinking water that your body needs. Now, you might be wondering, how much water do you really need? There is no one size fits answer. Your water needs can depend on your body size, your activity level, the climate you live in, and even your diet. So someone living in a hot environment or engaging in physical work will need more water than someone that is seated in a cooler environment with less activity. But one simple way to understand your hydration status is to do or listen to your body and observe your urine color. Pale yellow usually indicates proper hydration, while dark yellow suggests that you need more water. It is also important to understand that water does not only come from what you drink. Many foods contribute to your water intake. Fruits like watermelon and oranges, cucumber, vegetables like cucumber, cabbage, lettuce, and tomatoes can significantly amount to large or increase your water intake. However, you can't rely on this, right? Because relying only on food is not enough. The safe way to drink water, to have enough water, is drinking clean, safe water regularly, and that is very, very essential. We need to address a common mistake or that people make. Sometimes they replace water with sugary drinks like soda, Pepsi, Coke, Sprite, even juice. Some people, I live in England, and people take coffee and tea every time. So drinking sugary products or replacing water with some of these sweet drinks can cause harm to our system, increase our weight, or even affect our insulin performance. This can lead to what we call insulin resistance. While these may contain water, they often come with added sugars or substances, like I said, that have adverse health effects on our health when it is consumed. If you want to take water in its pure form, this remains the best choice for your hydration. Another important point to consider is what? Timing. Waiting until you are extremely thirsty before drinking water is not really ideal, but one good thing about our body is that it's because of the water, because we can feel thirsty, it helps us to take water before we get extremely dehydrated. Drinking small amounts of water consistently is more effective than consuming large quantity of water at once. Now, here is something most people do not realize. Water is not just sustaining life, it can actively help manage your diabetes and support weight loss. For people with diabetes, staying hydrated is crucial because water helps the kidney. It helps it to flush out excess blood sugar through urine. When your body is dehydrated, your blood sugar becomes more concentrated, making it even harder to manage. But drinking enough water reduces the risk of hyperglycemia and can help keep glucose level more stable. Some studies has suggested that regular water intake can reduce the risk of developing type 2 diabetes over time. Water also plays a crucial or critical role in weight loss. As a fitness coach, I've often told people, drink more water. It helps with satiety and it also helps to make you lose weight. Our body confuses thirst with hunger, so that craving for a snack may not just be hunger at all. It could be a signal that your body needs water. Drinking water before meals can help reduce appetite, lower calorie intake, and support fat metabolism. Water also increases the number of calories your body burns at rest, a phenomenon that is known as water-induced thermogenesis. In short, water is not just a passive nutrient, it is an active participant in controlling blood sugar. It helps to boost your metabolism and helping your body to use energy more efficiently. Think about this. Every metabolic reaction in your body occurs in a water-based environment. Your enzymes, hormones, and cells all depend on water to function properly. And without water, your body cannot break down food efficiently. It cannot produce energy effectively. It cannot maintain balance. This is why water is not just important, it is essential. It connects everything. It supports every system. It sustains life itself. And yet, because it is so simple, so cheap and accessible and so ordinary, it is often taken for granted. Good thing is that it doesn't have taste, so I don't know why we find it hard to drink water. But your body does not take it for granted. Every cell, every organ, every system depends on it every single day. So the next time you feel tired, before you assume it's stress, before you assume it's lack of sleep, ask yourself one question: have I had enough water today? Because sometimes the solution to your problem is not complicated. It is as simple as a glass of water. Water is not just something you drink, it is something your body lives on. Ignore it and your body struggles. Respect it and your body thrives. It helps you manage diabetes, support weight loss, boosts metabolism, keeps your brain sharp, and sustain every organ in your body. If you found this helpful, I want you to like, comment, share, and subscribe for deep, practical nutrition content. I'm going to give us a recap or a summary of everything we have done so far. In summary, we have covered all the 6 classes of nutrients, their sources, and some common diseases associated with lack of these nutrients. Understanding the 6 classes of foods helps us to make better decisions about what we eat. A healthy diet is not about avoiding food. It is about balance. Balance is the key to everything you eat. The body needs carbohydrates for energy, proteins for growth and repair, fats for protection and hormone function, vitamins and minerals for regulation, and water for life. When these nutrients are consumed in the right balance, food becomes a powerful tool for maintaining health and preventing diseases. But when our diet becomes unbalanced, food can do what? Contribute to serious health conditions such as diabetes and heart diseases. We also mentioned a lot of it, like lack of vitamins, all those ones. So I know you've watched it. This is why understanding food is important. If you found this video very helpful, please, which I know this is a master class, it can be a guide for you for your nutrition. If you have any person struggling with any health condition like diabetes, cholesterol, high blood pressure, any diseases at all, bone problem, lack of vitamins and all that, you can share this with them. You are helping to save life. This is what I would have done if I was given the opportunity to educate some of my loved ones that passed away. So I've said this, please like, share and subscribe to Bondlife with Ruth for more educational content about health, nutrition and well-being, mental health, relationship and fitness generally. Thank you. Our next topic will be on diabetes. Talk about metabolism and how you can lose weight without harming your body. Stay tuned in this channel as it will help you navigate some of your health challenges. Bye for now.